What if the moment you've been waiting for your whole life is standing right in front of you, but you're too afraid to reach out and hold on to it? That's exactly where Belly, Conrad, and Jeremiah find themselves as Season 3 races toward its finale. The love triangle has twisted, stretched, and pulled them apart in ways none of us expected. But the real question remains, when the dust finally settles, who will be standing next to Belly? And will that choice be a happy ending? Or the beginning of heartbreak all over again? Season 3 of The Summer I Turned Pretty has been nothing short of an emotional storm. Every episode layered more heartbreak, more confusion, and more tension into the story, pushing each character to a breaking point. Belly, caught between two brothers, has been forced to question not only who she loves, but also who she is becoming. This isn't the same Belly we first met in season, when the shy girl dreaming of summer love has turned into someone standing at a crossroads, where every decision comes with consequences she can't run from. The season opened with Belly still reeling from the fallout of last summer. Conrad's walls were higher than ever. Jeremiah's patience was wearing thin, and Belly's own guilt over past choices hung heavy over her every interaction. From the very first episode, you could feel the weight of unspoken words. Conrad, struggling with grief and the constant pressure to keep his family together, stayed guarded, always pulling back just when it seemed like he might let Belly in again. Meanwhile, Jeremiah took the opposite path, stepping forward with warmth, openness, a steady presence that seemed to promise Belly the love and stability she craved. But love triangles are never that simple. Every moment Belly spends with Jeremiah feels comforting and safe, yet her heart continues to drift back to Conrad, the boy who has hurt her, but also captured her in ways Jeremiah never fully can. This tug-of-war between head and heart defined much of the season, and fans have been torn right alongside her. Family dynamics added even more depth. With Susanna's absence casting a permanent shadow, every character seemed to carry a sense of loss they couldn't shake. Laurel tried to guide Belly, but even she knew that her daughter had to face these choices alone. Stephen provided moments of humor and honesty, often reminding Belly and the audience that love isn't just about passion. It's also about timing, communication, and trust. By mid-season, we saw the rivalry between Conrad and Jeremiah reach a boiling point. Long stares, tense silences, and quiet confessions revealed how deeply both brothers loved Belly, and how equally terrified they were of losing her. Every interaction between them felt like a ticking clock, counting down to a final confrontation. And Belly. She stood in the middle, torn apart, realizing that no matter what she chose, someone would end up heartbroken. The last few episodes built on this tension with subtle but powerful moments. Conrad's inability to voice his feelings clearly clashed with Jeremiah's constant willingness to show up. Belly's own doubts grew heavier as she tried to balance her love for her. Conrad's intensity with her appreciation for Jeremiah's steadiness. Each scene seemed designed to remind us that love is messy, complicated, and rarely the fairy tale we dream of. Now, as we head into the finale, the stage is perfectly set. Belly must finally face the truth she's been running from all season. Who does she love? Who will she choose? And most importantly, what will that choice mean for the Fisher brothers, their family, and the summers that defined them all? Love triangles aren't new to storytelling. They've been around in books, films, and shows for decades. But what makes the love triangle in The Summer I Turned Pretty so different and so powerful is the emotional history between these three characters. Belly didn't just meet Conrad and Jeremiah by chance. She grew up with them. Summers at Cousins weren't just vacations. They were chapters of her life. That's why her choice feels so much heavier. It's not just about picking between two boys. It's about deciding which future she wants to carry with her, which one she's willing to let go of forever. In Season 3, this triangle has reached its breaking point. At the center, Belly is torn in ways we haven't seen before. With Conrad, there's a depth that feels almost magnetic. She remembers the first time he looked at her differently. The first moment she realized she wasn't just Stephen's little sister anymore. That kind of memory doesn't fade, no matter how much time or distance is placed between them. And every time Conrad lets his guard down in those rare, fleeting moments where his vulnerability breaks through his silence, Belly sees the boy she fell in love with, the boy she believes is worth fighting for. But then there's Jeremiah. Sweet, open, and endlessly loyal, he offers Belly something entirely different. With him, there's no guessing, no confusion. He wears his heart on his sleeve, and he never hides the way he feels. Season 3 has shown how much Jeremiah has grown. He isn't just the playful younger brother anymore. He's stepped into the role of someone who can protect, comfort, and truly love Belly in a way that feels safe. And for Belly, after so much heartbreak, that kind of stability is tempting. Who wouldn't want to choose the path that promises less pain? The tension lies in the push and pull between these two brothers. One who represents passion, history, and intensity, and the other who symbolizes warmth, steadiness, and comfort. Belly is stuck between fire and light, between the boy who has hurt her but owns her heart, and the boy who has never let her down but may never ignite the same spark. Throughout Season 3, this triangle hasn't just been about who Belly loves. It's also about how Conrad and Jeremiah love her differently. Conrad loves in silence, in stolen glances, in the things he doesn't say. Jeremiah loves in action, in words, in his constant presence. This contrast has created some of the most heartbreaking scenes of the season. Fans can feel Conrad's quiet longing, even when he pushes Belly away. And they can also feel Jeremiah's growing frustration, knowing that no matter how much he gives, part of Belly's heart will always drift back to Conrad. Moments of jealousy have only fueled the fire. The way Conrad's face hardens when he sees Belly and Jeremiah together. The way Jeremiah's voice tightens when Conrad shows up unexpectedly. Each look, each silence, each unsaid word speaks louder than anything else. The triangle isn't just about love, it's about fear. Fear of being left behind, fear of being second choice, fear of giving everything and still not being enough. And Belly. She feels the weight of both their hearts on her shoulders. No matter what she does, someone will get hurt. If she chooses Conrad, Jeremiah loses not only the girl he loves, but also the closeness with his brother. If she chooses Jeremiah, Conrad's quiet suffering will haunt her. And if she walks away from both, she risks losing the very bond that shaped her summers, her childhood, and her idea of love. That's what makes this triangle so painful to watch. It isn't just romance, it's family. Choosing one brother means risking the other, and that kind of choice can tear apart more than just hearts. It can break entire relationships that have lasted for years. As we move closer to the finale, the love triangle feels less like a question of who will Belly choose, and more like what will they all lose in the process. The tension isn't just about desire anymore, it's about survival. Emotional survival for Belly, and brotherly survival for Conrad and Jeremiah. And that's why this triangle is one of the most gripping parts of the series. Because deep down, fans know there may not be a happy ending for everyone. If there's one thing that defines Belly in Season 3, it's that she is no longer just the girl who dreamed of summer romances under the cousin's sun. She's growing, changing, and facing choices that demand maturity she's not sure she's ready for. Belly's inner struggles are the heart of this season, and they might just decide how everything ends. From the very beginning, Belly's story has been about love. But in Season 3, it has shifted into something deeper: identity. Who is she without Conrad? Who is she without Jeremiah? Who is she outside of this love triangle? These are the questions she has been running from, even as she tells herself she is ready to face them. And that's what makes her struggles so relatable. Because for Belly, it isn't just about choosing between two boys. It's about choosing the person she wants to become. Throughout the season, I've watched her swing like a pendulum between moments of clarity and moments of doubt. One day she feels certain that Conrad is the only one who truly holds her heart. The next, she wonders if Jeremiah's unwavering love is what she really needs. Every decision seems to echo back to her with the same question. Is she following her heart, or is she running from pain? The pressure on Belly is enormous. She isn't just dealing with her own emotions, she feels the weight of Conrad and Jeremiah's emotions too. She knows that no matter what she chooses, she risks breaking someone she deeply cares about. And the guilt of that is something she carries quietly, but heavily. This is the kind of guilt that keeps her awake at night. The kind that makes her hesitate before speaking. The kind that lingers even in her happiest moments. There are scenes in Season 3 where we see this guilt in full display. When Conrad opens up, even slightly, Belly's face shows us everything: the longing, the pain, the fear, that maybe she is making a mistake if she lets him go. But when Jeremiah reaches out, offering her comfort and warmth, she feels safe. And that safety tempts her in ways she never expected. Belly's struggle isn't just love versus love, it's fear versus hope, past versus future, passion versus peace. What makes Belly's inner conflict so powerful is that it mirrors something we all go through: the battle between what we feel deeply and what we know logically. With Conrad, her heart races, but her mind warns her of heartbreak. With Jeremiah, her heart feels calm, but her mind wonders if calm is enough. And with herself, she questions whether she is strong enough to stand alone without needing either brother to define her. As the season progressed, we saw moments where Belly tried to take control of her story. She stood up for herself, made decisions that weren't just about pleasing others, and started to find her own voice. But at the same time, old patterns pulled her back. The memory of her first love with Conrad, the comfort of Jeremiah's laughter, the endless summers that tied them all together, these are threads she can't cut. Even when she tries, her inner struggle also comes from grief. Losing Susanna changed everything. That loss didn't just affect Conrad and Jeremiah. It left Belly questioning the stability of love itself. If someone as warm and full of life as Susanna can be gone so quickly, how can any love last forever? That thought lingers in Belly's heart. It makes her afraid to truly trust what she feels. Fans often debate who Belly should end up with. But what makes this season so raw is the idea that maybe she shouldn't end up with anyone, at least not yet. Maybe Belly's real journey isn't about choosing a boy, but about choosing herself. About realizing that love is beautiful, but it can't be her entire identity. That lesson is what gives this love triangle its depth. Because in the end, Belly's biggest challenge isn't choosing Conrad or Jeremiah, it's learning how to stop losing herself in the process. And this is why her struggle is so central to the finale. Because if Belly finally finds the courage to be honest with herself, her choice, whatever it may be, will carry more weight than any kiss, confession, or heartbreak we've seen before. This isn't just about who she loves. It's about whether she is finally ready to love herself enough to make the right decision, even if it breaks hearts along the way. As we head into the final moments of the season, the question isn't only who Belly will choose. It's also what version of Belly will walk away from this summer. Will she still be the girl who lets others shape her story, or will she finally be the young woman who writes her own ending? If Belly's story is about learning who she is, then Conrad's journey is about learning how to let others in. He has always been the mystery of this series, the boy who feels everything too deeply but says almost nothing at all. And in Season 3, that silence has become both his greatest strength and his greatest downfall. From the very beginning, Conrad was painted as the one Belly could never quite reach. He loved her. That much was clear, but he built walls so high around his heart that even Belly, the person he trusted most, struggled to climb them. In Season 3, those walls are still standing, but cracks have begun to show. And through those cracks, we see a Conrad who is fragile, vulnerable, perhaps more in love with Belly than he has ever been. But here's the problem. Conrad doesn't know how to show it. His love has always been quiet, hidden between long stares and unspoken words. He believes that protecting Belly means holding back, that loving her means stepping aside if it gives her a chance at happiness. To some, that looks like strength. To others, it looks like cowardice. But for Conrad, it's the only way he knows how to survive love without breaking completely. Grief is at the heart of Conrad's journey. Losing Susanna was like losing the sun, and he has been stumbling in the shadows ever since. That grief makes him guarded, cautious, afraid to hope for anything good because he fears it could be taken away just as quickly. And that fear bleeds into his relationship with Belly. Every time he comes close to telling her how he feels, he pulls back, haunted by the idea that loving her might mean losing her too. Yet, despite his silence, Conrad's love is undeniable. Look closely at the season. You'll see it everywhere. The way he lingers in a room when Belly is there. The way his eyes soften when she laughs. The way he notices small details no one else does. These quiet gestures are his language of love. Even if Belly sometimes wishes, he would simply say the words out loud. The tension between Conrad and Jeremiah has only made Conrad's journey harder. He knows his brother loves Belly too, and that knowledge eats away at him. Deep down, Conrad believes Jeremiah may be better for her, easier, safer, more consistent. That's why Conrad often steps aside, even when it hurts him. But what he doesn't realize is that Belly doesn't just want safe. She wants real. And real for her has always been Conrad. Season 3 gives us moments where Conrad's emotions nearly spill over. A late-night conversation, a hesitant touch, a look that lasts too long. These are the glimpses that remind us that Conrad's heart is still wide open, even if his mouth can't keep up. Fans who root for Conrad see these moments as proof that his love runs deeper than Jeremiah's, even if it's less obvious. And that's what makes his journey so frustrating and heartbreaking at the same time. Because we know the love is there. It's just trapped inside a boy who doesn't know how to let it out. But here's where Conrad's journey becomes critical for the finale. He can't stay silent forever. If he wants Belly, truly wants her, he has to step out of the shadows and claim that love, even if it risks hurting Jeremiah. This is the moment where Conrad must decide whether to keep sacrificing himself for others or finally fight for the one thing he's always wanted. And if he does, the entire story could shift. Because Conrad isn't just a boy in love, he's Belly's first love. And first love has a power that doesn't fade, no matter how much time passes. It's a bond built on memories, summers, and promises unspoken. That's why Conrad's journey is so important. It's not just about him opening up. It's about whether he can finally let go of fear, grief, and guilt long enough to tell Belly what the audience, have known all along, that she has always been his choice. As the finale approaches, the biggest question for Conrad isn't just does he love Belly. We already know he does. The question is, will he finally be brave enough to say it? If Conrad is the storm, Jeremiah is the calm after it. He has always been the sunshine boy, warm, open, and impossible to ignore. But in Season 3, Jeremiah's role in Belly's story becomes heavier. It's more serious and more heartbreaking than ever before. Because for Jeremiah, loving Belly has never been the problem. The real problem has always been knowing that he isn't the only one who does. From the very beginning, Jeremiah's love for Belly has been steady. Unlike Conrad, he doesn't hide it, doesn't bury it, doesn't let fear swallow it up. He says it, he shows it, and he lives it. And in Season 3, we see him step fully into that role, the boy who is always there for Belly when she needs him most. Whether it's a comforting hug, a reassuring word, or simply standing beside her when the world feels too heavy. Jeremiah is the safe harbor Belly can always return to, but being the safe choice comes with its own pain. Jeremiah knows deep down that a part of Belly's heart will always belong to Conrad, and that knowledge hangs over every smile, every kiss, every moment they share. For Jeremiah, it's like living in a shadow, one where no matter how brightly he shines, he fears he will never be the light. Belly chooses first. Season 3 gives us a Jeremiah who is no longer just the playful younger brother. He's grown. He's matured. He's stepped into a role that demands more than jokes and charm. We see him struggle with jealousy, anger, and insecurity, emotions that reveal just how deeply he loves Belly and just how much he fears losing her. His easygoing nature, the thing that always set him apart from Conrad, begins to crack under the pressure of this love triangle. And through those cracks, we see the real Jeremiah, vulnerable, desperate, and willing to fight for the girl he loves. The heartbreaking part of Jeremiah's position is that he has done everything right. He has been honest, he has been present, and he has never once made Belly guess how he feels. And yet he still feels like second place. That quiet ache runs through his storyline this season. Every time Conrad enters the room, Jeremiah feels the shift, the way Belly looks at Conrad, the way silence stretches between them, the way history pulls at her heart. Jeremiah can't compete with that kind of first love, and he knows it. But he also can't let go. What makes Jeremiah's position so complex is that he isn't just fighting for Belly, he's fighting for his brother too. Because if Belly chooses Conrad, Jeremiah doesn't just lose the girl he loves. He loses Conrad. He loses the bond they've shared their whole lives. The love triangle isn't just tearing at Jeremiah's heart. It's threatening to tear apart his family. And for someone like Jeremiah, who has always valued connection, it's almost worse than losing Belly herself. Yet Jeremiah isn't weak. He doesn't step aside easily. Season 3 shows us his determination, the way he looks Belly in the eye and tells her what he wants. The way he refuses to let Conrad's silence speak louder than his own actions. Jeremiah knows he has something to offer Belly that Conrad can't: consistency. And in moments where Belly doubts, when she questions whether love has to hurt so much, Jeremiah is there to remind her that love can be simple, kind, and steady. As we move toward the finale, Jeremiah's position becomes a test of endurance. Can he keep fighting for Belly, knowing she may never fully be his? Can he handle the heartbreak of being chosen second, or not at all? And perhaps most importantly, if Belly does choose him, will he always wonder whether she really wanted someone else? Jeremiah's journey is the story of the boy who loves too much, too openly and too bravely, in a world that doesn't always reward honesty. He's the reminder that sometimes doing everything right still isn't enough to win. And that's what makes his role in this finale so bittersweet. Because no matter what Belly decides, Jeremiah is destined to walk away changed, either with the girl he has always loved by his side, or with the knowledge that he was never truly her first choice. Love may be at the center of the summer I turned pretty. Family has always been the heart. And in Season 3, the family drama and unspoken secrets add a weight to every decision Belly, Conrad, and Jeremiah make. Because this story isn't just about three people caught in a love triangle. It's about two families trying to hold themselves together after loss, change, and years of history that refuse to stay buried. The absence of Susanna Fisher is the most powerful shadow cast over Season 3, her warmth. Her laughter, her way of making every summer feel magical, all of it is gone. And yet, her presence is still everywhere. Susanna was the anchor that kept both families steady. Without her, Conrad and Jeremiah are adrift, lost in their own ways. Conrad turns inward, hiding behind silence and responsibility. Jeremiah turns outward, searching for love and connection to fill the void. Belly, too, feels the loss deeply. Susanna wasn't just their mother. She was Belly's second mother. Her guide, the woman who believed in her even when Belly doubted herself. Losing Susanna left a hole in Belly's heart. And part of her struggles this season come from trying to live in a world where that love is no longer there to steady her laurels. Journey adds another layer to the family drama. She is strong, sharp, and protective. But she also carries the weight of Susanna's death in a way that often leaves her distant. Laurel wants to protect Belly from heartbreak, but she also knows she can't fight her daughter's battles for her. Their relationship in Season 3 is filled with moments of tension, Laurel pushing Belly to think carefully, Belly pushing back with her own determination to choose her own path. Yet beneath the arguments, there's love. A mother's love, messy and imperfect, but unshakable. Then there's Stephen. Often overlooked in the main love triangle, Stephen's role is surprisingly important. He sees things Belly doesn't, and he often says the truths no one else wants to hear. His humor lightens heavy moments, but his honesty cuts through the drama with clarity. In Season 3, Stephen has acted as both a brother and a voice of reason, reminding Belly that love is more than fireworks and heartbreak. It's also about trust, respect, and knowing your worth. His perspective gives the audience a break from the intensity of the triangle, while also grounding Belly in the reality of her choices. But beyond the obvious family dynamics, Season 3 hints at deeper secrets and tensions. Susanna's absence left unresolved feelings between the brothers, emotions they've never fully spoken about. Both Conrad and Jeremiah grieve differently. But underneath their rivalry for Belly is something rawer, the fear that they are losing each other. For the first time, The Fisher brothers aren't just fighting for love, they're fighting to keep their bond alive. And that silent war between them might be the most heartbreaking part of all. The finale will likely push these family dynamics into sharper focus. Belly's choice won't just affect her and the boy she chooses. It will ripple through both families, changing how they see each other, how they love each other, and whether they can continue spending summers together at Cousins without the magic Susanna once created. If Belly chooses Conrad, Jeremiah may feel betrayed not just by her, but by his brother. If she chooses Jeremiah, Conrad may finally break under the weight of losing both his mother and the girl he loves. And if Belly chooses herself, both brothers will be forced to reckon with their relationship outside of her, something they've never truly had to do. This is why the family drama and secrets are so important. They remind us that The Summer I Turned Pretty isn't just about romance. It's about growing up, losing people you love, and learning how to carry on even when everything feels broken. Belly, Conrad, and Jeremiah may be at the center, but the families around them, the pain, the loss, the loyalty, the secrets, shape every choice they make. And in the end, it's not just a love story. It's a family story as the finale approaches. The question lingers. Will love bring these families closer together, or will it be the thing that finally tears them apart?